Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another album review, and this time it is Jethro Tull and Curious Ruminant. As you know, I was incredibly lucky to talk to Ian Anderson and interview him about this album. So I've been waiting really with bated breath to get hold of a copy, although I'd been given access to the album to stream it before I interviewed Ian. But anyway, I'm going to give you a review of what I think about the album. But first of all, I'm going to show you the version that I've got. It's available in multiple versions, and I know many of you have gone for all of them. But this is the vinyl edition. So I'm going to show you this because this is the one I've got, because it also comes with a little booklet. So here it is. So this is a look inside Jethro Tull, Curious Ruminant. This is the vinyl version. It's also available as a media pack and also a super deluxe edition with a vinyl record and CDs and a Blu-ray. So this is a much more simpler affair. So gatefold sleeve, all the track listings on the back. And the vinyl comes in a polyline sleeve, which, as you know, here at Now Spinning Towers, we absolutely love. And it also comes with a booklet, which I also love for vinyl sets as well. So a picture of Ian on the front, story behind the album, the concept, etc., which is really interesting and well written and really obviously from the heart, from Ian. Musicians, track times, who's played on what, and then we have the lyrics for each track, and I'll touch on some of these when I go through the review, and then another picture of Ian on the back. So that is the vinyl version of Jethro Tull, Curious Ruminant. So that's a look inside Curious Ruminant by Jethro Tull, the vinyl edition, gatefold sleeve, polyline sleeve, and also a nice booklet as well with all the lyrics in. So what are my thoughts? Are my thoughts coloured by the fact that I've interviewed Ian? No, they're not. They might have been, but enough water's gone under the bridge now for me to live with this album. And as you know, Ian's been incredibly busy. This is almost his third album in as many years. It's almost like the 70s again, with albums coming around just as they used to back then. I guess then it was a feeling of we don't know how long this is going to last. You know, rock was very young, in the late 60s, early 70s. No one quite knew about all the people that work in the record labels who were almost the same age as the musicians. But now we don't know how long this is going to last. It's for different reasons, as many of these musicians from this golden age of rock music are now in their late 70s themselves. And so it's a feeling of like creating music for legacy, perhaps, and maybe more. And I feel that this album links into that, because this isn't a album where Ian will talk about they or he. It's, which because he's a storyteller, he's a poet, and he's always kind of been talked in a kind of third person in many of his albums. This one is more about I, me, and I think it's more personal for that. So what do I think about it? I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of some of the tracks, if I can read my own writing. The first song is Puppet and Puppet Master. This is a typical Tull track to me, and those of you who are fans of Jethro Tull, hopefully you're agreeing with me when you heard this for the first time. It's mid-paced, it's got great flute playing, and I do feel that the flute playing on this album is absolutely exceptional. Not that it isn't on any other one, but I just think it's inspired. I think, Ian's going through a patch here with his playing. It's just reaching, new heights. I would say it's bouncing off the ceiling and probably even breaking through in places. There's some great guitar on this track, especially the guitar solo at about 2 minutes, 20 odd seconds. And we have this kind of question and answer thing where there's a guitar solo and it's answered by the flute solo, which goes backwards and forwards. And there's a wonderful bit of Hammond organ playing on this track. So it's lovely. It kind of sets the scene for the whole album in a way. The next one is the title track, which is 6 minutes long, which is Curious Ruminant itself. This starts with piano before we go into the kind of really classic kind of slow gallop of a guitar riff that those of you, when you hear it, realise it's been something that's been visited in and out of several places within the Jethro Tull catalogue. Again, flute, guitar. I love the chorus on this. It's very kind of anthemic in its own way, with like asking why am I here, answering why am I anywhere. I love the way that it's kind of paced. It's one of my favourite tracks. It's positive. I love the kind of instrumentation, especially at the 3-minute mark. I love that. And it's got this kind of echo reverb vocal that Ian has used in many Jethro Tull tracks. And again, fantastic guitar solo towards the end at about just before the 4-minute mark, and some wonderful bass groove around that point as well. But yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks, and I think lyrically, because Ian is someone that reads a lot of stuff, he's always expanding his knowledge and stuff, and I think this is what this is about. He's constantly looking, he's constantly interested in history, how things come around in circles and stuff, and I think this is ruminating. It's, that thing when you just have things going round in your head. It's a great track. The next one, Dennis Hain Hill, I'll put here, flute intro, gentle backing, spoken, gentle vocal. It's a little bit of drama for the ears, and a lot of Jethro Tull is drama for the ears. They're like little mini pieces where they could easily be stories on their own. It's poetry, but it's also cinematic in many ways. The vocals, some people have said, oh, Ian's vocals have changed over time. Well, they have. They would. Have yours? Everybody's does. And there is a kind of relaxed, gentle, almost spoken singing in places, almost as if you've got Ian sitting next to you. He's not whispering in your ear, but he's next to you, and he's kind of drawing you in. As the music pulls you into the track itself, he's kind of right next to you, really close and intimate as he delivers these words. And that's how it feels. That's how it feels to me. The next 3 tracks feel like they're very much joined at the hip, and I guess they would be, because the way this is sequenced is they follow each other. And the first one is the Tipu House. This is a lively start. It's very observational. It's another little mini drama. This is another one of my favourites. All God's children play in that toxic city garden, stealing from their brethren a saucy view or more of domestic incidents and guilty copulation. The days of books and roses shone firmly to the door. It's the poetry, the lyrics here are being crafted by a master of his craft. And the kind of reference point for me personally, and maybe this is just me, but one of my favourite Jethro Tull albums is Minstrel in the Gallery. And the reason for that is for the track called Baker Street Muse. And I feel that this track and what happens next has a link to the way that these have been put together, but they're more kind of personal in a way. So Savannah of Paddington Green, wheeling and whirling in social display, free flight celebration, synchronous play, irresponsible echoes best heard and not seen over urban Savannah of Paddington Green. This really feels it has this kind of Baker Street Muse because of the lyrical content about streets of London, and the other one, of course, is a different area, but again, it's about urban storytelling, and I think Ian does this so well as he did back then as well. The next one after that is a kind of a tenuous link, I guess, to that, because it's Stygian Hand, and Stygian Hand is kind of like Greek word for foreboding, dark, gloomy. It's about the river Styx in the underworld. So there's this kind of cobbled roadway, dark as pitch, grey mist swirling, something lightly treading this way comes, something evil this way comes. It's a great use of words as imagery that conjures this story, and it's a really typical kind of Jethro Tull arrangement and mix, etc. It's another superb track. I really, really like it. And then Over Jerusalem, I kind of really is a topical one, because obviously the previous one has a feel towards so religion or faith or gods or whatever, the way it's kind of symbols and sacrifice and all this kind of stuff. And obviously Over Jerusalem is about the way the world has unfolded, with the way people think about this. If I can find the bit now, it's about soldier girls and soldier boys stare at me down the line, out of time, switch it, alliance in my mind. And it's a way, I guess, if I can find it. Am I a hawk? Am I a dove? The vulture swooping down from above. There's no time for meditation, pause or thought or hesitation. Angry gods of retribution, driving hate without solution. And I think it's this idea that at the heart of any faith is peace, friendship, kindness. But of course, interpretation sometimes takes these things in a very violent way, which causes mass division. And I think it's kind of a sad, reflective sense about a place that should be the center of so many things. So I feel that is a very, very personal track, really well put together, and musically absolutely lovely. I put it's gentle, reflective. It becomes mid-paced at about 2.5 minutes long. Again, we have this question and answer, guitar solo, flute solo, and absolutely brilliant. But the focal point of this album, the bit where, to me, the track actually, and the one afterwards that I play the most, which on the vinyl version is side 2, is Drink from the Same Well. This is it's just shy of 17 minutes, right? It's just shy of 17 minutes long. It starts with really gentle piano and flute playing. And it follows the piano, the flute follows the piano lines. It's like as if the piano is climbing up a mountain gently. The notes are kind of one after the other following each other. And the flute is kind of bobbling along as it follows it up the hill. It's beautiful. And then at 2 minutes, about 2 seconds in, we suddenly change into this Eastern Indian Bhangra type effect groove, which I absolutely love. And you can actually feel the kind of Indian nature, the kind of Bhangra aspect to it, because of the accordion that kind of bounces along on this rhythm. And it just stays around here, dancing around itself. It's absolutely stunning. And then about 3 minutes 24, you have another change, and the flute then kind of becomes more the absolute focal point. This is literally 8 minutes flute solo before we get to the vocals. But at 5 minutes in, another change, another solo, a key change. The whole band are here now. At 6 minutes in, piano solo, and again another question and answer with the flute. And it has a real kind of jazz feel to it, a really laid back jazz, sitting there, imagine you having your cup of coffee or whatever, a glass of wine. It's just, the music is just swirling around you. I may have to indulge and get the 5.1 mix, because I just have a feeling there's different aspects, even in stereo, where things bounce around, where you think if this was the surround sound mix, this would be completely immersive. And again, the whole thing has a Baker Street Muse feel to me. And then we kind of move in to 8 minutes and the vocals arrive. And at that point, and again, after this, we have another flute solo at about 10 minutes in. It's mystical. It's just drifts around you. It's absolutely superb. The vocals are back in at about 12 minutes. So in between that part, we have more solos, more kind of dreamy, cinematic, beautiful music. And then at 13 minutes mark, we're back to the Bhangra Eastern feel. The accordion's back, bouncing along in that rhythm, and the flute solo just weaves around the whole thing. I just found this completely beautiful. I've listened up the last 2 Jethro Tull albums. I've bought that as well, but I really feel that this track to me is the central point, and it's based on things that Ian's had recorded, he's been working on, the beans got kind of left behind, or not left behind, parked, and he's brought them out and now really developed them as the muse reappeared for this piece of work. But I absolutely love that. What did I put here? I put the flute is literally weaving around your heart. And after that epic track, we move into something that is literally 2.5 minutes long. It's called Interim Sleep. And when I spoke to Ian, I really kind of focused on this because this is a poem. This is, I've said some of the tracks is like spoken singing. This is spoken, really. And with the way that Ian has taken his kind of Christmas concerts and plays in churches and cathedrals, this to me just sounded like it could be slotted into that set. It's like a Taizai kind of chant in a way, although it has, when I say that, lyrically, it's a real story. And I think Ian said he probably wouldn't be able to do that because it might make him cry. And if you've experienced loss in your life and were looking for comfort in grief, whatever, this piece of music has been put together and the words so well in helping to, hopefully for many people, build bridges into different aspects of your life. And it's just, it's like guitar chords where the chords are almost, each note is just hanging in air. And as these notes hang in air, there is a gentle flute flowing, playing long notes around it. So this is a real kind of atmosphere song, poem, piece of work, art. When interim sleeps take me, when interim sleeps takes me, I want you to go along. I'm going to start that again. I think it's because I've been playing it and me and Sue are playing it and it's just so moving. I can't do it justice, obviously, but when interim sleep takes me, I want you close beside. No tears, no sad goodbye. I am calm and still as a fallen autumn leaf. When that interim sleep takes me, I will pass first into a room next door, not far away, nor lost to finer senses, not gone forever, nor to be forgotten. And when your turn comes at last to close those waking eyes, pass willingly to the room next door, seeking no blameless redemption, walk to that open window, open to the stars. Look out down the winding river valley where lights sparkle, marking stations where trains start and stop on separate journeys of our many lives. High above the nearest empty station flies a solitary bird, faint in the higher distance, circling, soaring in the infinite blue. Reach up to that bird to find me waiting on firm, welcoming, feathered wings. Together we will circle in that infinite blue, glide down past stately barges to the next twinkling station. Buy tickets, stow useless excess baggage to board the onward train on another journey. I just think that is incredible. It's just touched me. And that's what music does, isn't it? Other people watching this video now might be wondering, why did I read that out? Or you don't sense that. And that's fine, because music is subjective. It builds bridges between us, but we don't all like the same thing. But I just think that this is a marvelous album. I think where it says here, I had been saying for months from the release of Rock Float that I would embark on a new project in late 2023 and kept telling myself that it would really happen. I'm used to an often welcomed lull of enthusiasm from time to time, a becalming drift of doldrums waiting for the muse to exhale a gentle breeze of minty sweet breath to fill my sails and follow the mysterious process that we call afflatus divine inspiration. And I'm sorry for that missing pronunciation as well. So don't panic, just roll and relax with it for a while. But in any event, I waited only a few weeks before the first notions began to solidify into some drafted words and intent in June 2024, and some unfinished music recorded earlier with John O'Hara, David Goodyear and James Duncan will become the starting point for the new songs that are in this album. This is just beautiful. Jethro Tull, Curious Ruminant. An absolutely beautiful album. Let me know what you think. Which version did you buy? Which one did you have? Should I go and get the 5.1 mix as well? Let me know in the comments whether you're watching this on YouTube or reading and watching on the website or wherever else you are. It'd be great to hear from you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your support. Remember, if you become a Patron or YouTube member, you get access to the private Facebook group, the private WhatsApp group, where you can be amongst lots of like-minded music fans from around the world, and also get invited to the twice monthly virtual pub that is the Now Spinning Arms, where you can hang out and actually get to know each other even better. But thank you, whatever, for all of your support that you give Now Spinning Magazine. It's been absolutely fantastic, and for all your comments and reaching out to me by email, etc., messages. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Please take care, all of you, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.